For today's history video, I'd like to revisit the career of Charles G. Dawes, Dawes. You're forgiven if you don't remember the name. He was Calvin Coolidge's vice president and served from 1925 through 1929. He's famous for three things, two good and one bad. Today's lunch alert is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. You haven't missed anything yet. The gold rally is just getting started. One good thing is that he was a musician, and he composed the song "It's All in the Game," all in the wonderful game that is known as love. The other good thing about him is that he won the Nobel Peace Prize for something he really deserved. After World War One, Germany was prostrate because of its losses during the war, but France and Britain refused to relieve them of any of the reparations that they had to pay. The reparations crippled Germany and made it almost impossible for it to rise again as a world power. Dawes was appointed head of a commission to examine the reparations, and President Hoover appointed him, and he urged the Allies to cut back on the reparations and permit Germany to live. Through the Dawes Plan, the U.S. lent significant sums of money to Germany, which permitted it to get off the mat and recover from World War One. And it was a very significant contribution to world peace. Of course, later inflation engulfed Germany, and Hitler took over, and Germany rearmed and became the menace to the world that it was in World War II. But in 1923, world trade almost ground to a halt because Germany couldn't afford to buy anything. And Dawes really stopped that. The negative thing about him is kind of amusing. In 1924, at the start of Dawes' term as vice president, President Coolidge nominated a guy named Charles Warren to be the U.S. Attorney General. And Warren was deeply enmeshed in the Teapot Dome scandal that involved the sale of Navy oil rights to private enterprise and significant kickbacks to various government officials. The issue of and one of whom was Warren. When Warren's nomination came up before the Senate, most of the Democratic senators opposed him, and a number of Republicans did too. Dawes and Coolidge were both Republican. But on the day of the vote of for his confirmation, Dawes was absent. He had been present during the day, but the debate droned on, and there were a number of speakers to come, so he went home to take a nap. But he didn't realize that the vote was much more imminent than he thought, and he ended up sleeping through the vote, waking only at the last minute, but not in time to get his vote. And Warren was rejected. His nomination was turned down, the first one in decades to be turned down, and everybody blamed Dawes, and he deserved the blame. So that was the controversial career of Charles G. Dawes, who was the only vice president to win the Nobel Prize, to write a hit song, and to be pilloried for sleeping through his duties. Thanks for watching. Today's lunch alert is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. You haven't missed anything yet. The gold rally is just getting started. David Rosenberg sees a 30% upside with gold, with prices reaching $3,000 an ounce. Gold is used in circuitry manufacturing for AI, and silver is up over 20% in 2 months and ready to skyrocket. So call the Patriot Gold Group. Don't be left out.
Now, the Patriot Gold Group offers no fee for life IRAs to viewers of these videos, and that extended that offer and lowered the minimum required to get in. So call the Patriot Gold Group and ask about the no fee for life IRA. Stay well.